know that there are a lot of trainers on YouTube that will tell you that a tired dog is a happy dog, and that is a phrase that gets thrown around left and right. And I'm not saying that your dog doesn't need exercise. I'm not saying that engagement isn't healthy for your dog. I'm just saying that it's a little overrated and that people need to have a more realistic understanding of what enrichment or exercise is for and have a better understanding of how to give it to their dog. Not to mention, if your dog is having behavioral problems like he's reactive or anxious or sensitive or fearful, or maybe he's just overjoyed and constantly overstimulated and wants to jump at everything that he sees even though he likes it, even all those things, more exercise is not the answer to your problem. Taking your dog out for longer walks is not going to solve your problem. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about why that is. If you're interested, keep watching. What's up, guys? It's Jenna with Dog Liaison, where I coach you on how to enhance your dog's mental health. I'm a professional dog trainer who works solely with dogs facing anxiety disorders. And in my signature program, the Recovering Rover program, I work exclusively with clients on how to treat their dog's mental health. One of the things that I can tell you, especially in the terms of treating separation anxiety and treating reactivity on leash, for example, one of the things that people always turn to is doing more exercise. Now, first of all, I want to unpack the word exercise because I have a little bit of a beef with that word. The reason is because exercises, the word is super vague. It doesn't tell me what we're exercising. It doesn't tell me if we are exercising the dog mentally, emotionally, physically. What exactly are we giving our dog? And a lot of times when I ask my clients like, hey, why do you go out for a walk? Their answer is, well, to give my dog exercise. And it's like, okay, exercise of what? Is your goal to get them to use their brain? Is your goal to get them to move their body? Is their goal to get them to just bond with you and hang out? What is the purpose of it? That's the first thing I want you guys to take away from this video is that if you're going to go on walks, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with going on walks, go on walks, but go on walks with intention. Go on walks with purpose. Don't just decide we're going on a stroll for 2 miles because the book said we're supposed to. Go on a walk and say, no. The purpose of this walk is for my dog to sniff. The purpose of this walk is for my dog to feel in control of his environment and to investigate it. That's fine. Or the purpose of this walk is to get my dog to run. By the way, if you have an athletic breed, whether that's a small breed like a Jack Russell Terrier, or you've got a large breed like a Chocolate Lab, right? If you've got an athletic breed, walking them for 2 miles is doing relatively nothing for you. Your dog is bred to run, my friend. Your dog is bred to run. So that walk is going to pale in comparison. Now, I'm not saying that every person needs to turn into a jogger with their dog. I'm not a jogger. I don't actually run with my dog. But here's what I will say. If your dog is built to run, the walk is undervalued, right? The walk is not going to meet par. On the other hand, if you shape your dog into an athlete, then you have an athlete on your hand. Here's a 100% true story of me. Several years ago, I thought I was supposed to run my dog. My dog is a Dalmatian. I'm supposed to run Max. So I treadmill trained him. And he did like the treadmill. He really did. I could have him on there without a leash. He would jump on. Everything was going swell. I would turn on the treadmill and he would run for 4 hours and everything was great. And in my little world, everything was beautiful and hunky-dory. But what ended up happening is 2 things. One, my dog would always get off the treadmill exhausted and hurting. He would be sore from running for so long. I would get a tired dog and he always wanted to go back on the treadmill the next day, but he would always be sore. And I always felt bad for that because he would like limp and stuff. And then on top of that, what ended up happening over time is I got an athlete. I got a dog who, if he didn't run 4, 5, 12, 18,000 miles a day, he was absolutely out of his mind. And this is something that I hear with clients all the time where they would go, you know, I run my dog for 3 miles a day and then we come home and he still has all this energy. It's like, yeah, because his body is conditioned to handle endurance. His body is conditioned to handle that running. And yeah, you are going to have to feed him 5,000 calories a day because that's what you've conditioned him to be able to handle, right? So really think to yourself about the body that you want to develop in your dog. I no longer treadmill my dog. I got rid of the treadmill because it was, in the long haul, it did more harm for me than good. And it definitely came to a point where my dog started resenting the treadmill and he didn't want to go on. And I still forced him, unfortunately. And I regret that. I mean, this was several years ago, so I'm not doing it anymore. But I regret it. I feel bad that I did that to my dog. If I can save you guys and say, look, we're chasing quality, not quantity. Quality running, not quantity of miles. Quality safari, not quantity of time walking. Really reshape what you think that walk is for. Now, as far as exercise goes, there are so many ways to exercise physically your dog, including swimming and soccer and getting your dog to crawl under things and jump over things, getting your dog to walk on rocks. Those all require athleticism. So exercise is multifaceted. It doesn't have to do with just getting your dog to walk or run in a straight line. The other thing to realize is that exercise is important for mental stimulation. And in fact, in many, 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 many dogs, mental stimulation is more exhausting than physical stimulation. Getting them to really think critically requires more effort from your dog most of the time than a physical exercise workout, whatever, right? So having intention and knowing what exactly am I trying to stimulate right now? Am I trying to make him think? Am I trying to get him a critical thinker? Now, this is something that I really do a deep dive in last week's video on enrichment, which you can check out here. Open that in the new tab. I'll also link it at the end of this video. So for more specific ideas on how to do this, that's the video for you. But as far as emotional exercise, this, in my opinion, is the most beneficial. Emotional exercise is going up to a deserted field at sunset, sitting on the curb, and having your dog sit beside you, feel the breeze on his skin, close his eyes, listen to the birds, watch the breeze, and get a belly rub, all with his best human friend beside him. That is emotional stimulation. Yes, there's some sensory in there, right? So there's some mental engagement for sure. And okay, yeah, he walked for 15 minutes, so there's probably a little bit of physical too. But that's not the purpose of it. Those were just cherries on top. What we were really tacking on is that bond, that connection, that experience between you and your dog of going up to the hill and just chilling. Emotional connection is getting a massage right before bed to soothe. Those things are emotional exercise. And so when we think about, well, I just need to exercise my dog, we get confined into this workout frame mind where we're like, we have to work him out, we have to work him out, we have to work him out. And there's this whole other world over here that we've completely forgotten about. And finally, I want to end this with saying that exercise is not the answer to all problems. I hear it a lot where people will say that separation anxiety is just treated with more exercise. If you just give your dog an activity, if you just give them a distraction, or you walk them for longer, or you do more, or you do more, or you do more, that finally your dog will no longer have separation anxiety. And this is a disservice to you, the dog owner, because one of the two things is going to happen. One, your dog is still going to have separation anxiety. It's just now they've had this 18-hour long walk, so they're super tired. Their body shut them down, and that anxiety is still there. It's just that literally the body has shut down because it's so exhausted it needs to sleep. But that's not resolving anxiety. It's just putting a Band-Aid on it. Or two, you're going to get a dog that's still anxious. You do all these things, you've taken him out for all of this exercise, and then your dog is still demonstrating anxiety, which is just making him more tired. So he's still going through these panic attacks. It's just that also now he's had all this exercise that's going to make him more exhausted. This is very, in my opinion, dangerous because you're not resolving the real problem, which is a panic attack. Now, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my God, my dog has separation anxiety, I need to listen to this. I have a whole playlist for you. You can check it out right here. that's the solution for you. There are several tutorials in there. But I also hear this with reactivity where, well, if you take your dog out for a walk, you need to run him first in the backyard. Get him super, super tired, have him run a whole bunch, and then go out for your walk, and then he won't react to his trigger. Here's the thing. There's a place for zoomies, there's a place for running, and I'm not gonna tell you not to run your dog. I'm just saying, don't take your dog out in the backyard to zoom him in anticipation that that is going to eliminate all of the reactivity on the leash. Those two are not automatically connected. They serve two different purposes. And that's really what this is about, is having reasonable expectations out of what exercise is. If you're looking for more specific games that you can play with your dog to really enhance their enrichment, do me a favor, get your free download in the description box below. It's 50 free enrichment activities that you can do with your dog. If you're looking for more ways to enhance your dog's mental health on the whole, consider subscribing. My entire channel is dedicated to enhancing dog mental health. Or make sure to check out these two videos for more information on today's topic, and I'll see you guys next time.